Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my wrap up for August. I'm going to be sharing with you every books that I've read this month, letting you know my thoughts on them and giving them a rating out of 5 stars. So yeah, I actually did a lot better than I thought I would. I actually read 12 books this month that are right here, which I think is pretty impressive for my first month, so pretty happy about it. The month ended up being pretty interesting. I've read some really good books and some books. So I have 1 2-star book, 5 3-star or 3.5 stars. I'm just gonna group 0.5 together. So 5 3-star books, 4 4-stars, and 2 5-stars. So I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna go from the lowest rating to the highest. So first book has to be, I know, I feel like people either love it or completely hate it. Unfortunately, I was extremely disappointed that I know it's a play, it's not exactly the, like 8th book of Harry Potter, but that was like so bad. I'm sorry, but that was like, I was so disappointed with it. Like there was so many holes in like the world, in the story, in the personality. Like the characters were so out of characters that I was just like, no, I really didn't like it. The only thing that was positive was the fact that it was still Harry Potter and Scorpius, which was the only character that I ended up liking. So if you want to discuss like a spoiler review, I'll put it in the comments. I'll just like write spoiler and then we can have a discussion there if you want to. But overall, extremely disappointed with it. I had some friends asking me if I recommended it and I said no. So I gave it a 2 stars and yeah, just don't even want to talk about it anymore. First 3-star book has to be Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have to say, I was warned that the first part wasn't going to be good, and I completely agree. The first part of the book, I really wanted to just not finish it. I didn't like it, but it ended up getting better, so I gave it a 3 stars, and I am excited to read the rest, but I'm not in a rush. Like, I'm not like really dying to see what's gonna happen, but I know it's a really highly raved about on YouTube, so don't kill me. I will probably finish the series, I'm just not in a rush. People that were saying that it was Hunger Games on Mars, yeah, that's basically what it is. So yeah, so I give it a 3 star. It was good, it just didn't blow my mind. Next book wasn't on my TBR, so I just ended up grabbing it on book outlets. You probably saw it in my last book haul, but I read Nerve because it's a movie that just came out actually. So I wanted to read the book before watching the movie because it's just so much better. Doing the opposite, I feel like it's always hard. What do you think? I just can't do it. Half the time it's just hard to like read the book after watching the movie. Anyway, I feel like I was reading it and it literally felt like I was watching a movie. Like it was really like fast-paced, not a lot of like in-depth much of anything, not even the personality of characters. Overall, I would have said that during the book, I would have given a 3.5, but the ending just was so meh to me that I ended up giving it a 3 stars. So I will be watching the movie so I can be comparing like both of them, but the book was okay. Like I liked it enough. It was like an interesting concept, but yeah, the ending. If you've read it, like, do you want to talk about it in the comments? Because I'm just... Last 3-star book has to go to The Silver Witch by Paula Braxton. I have to say, this book was a complete cover buy. I keep showing it, but like how stunning is this cover? And it was okay. Like the first half was really slow paced, which I ended up actually liking because I was reading it before bed and it was really calming. I've been like really stressed and this has been really good to go back to sleep. But you're basically reading 2 point of views. The first one being in like actual time and then one of them being like in the 900 like Celtic years and stuff. So it was a bit strange. You were just wondering where they would like connect, and I don't know. If you've read this book, let me know what you think, but personally the second half just got a bit weird. I gave it 3.5 stars to City of Bones, the first book in the Moral Instruments by Cassandra Clare, which again another series that is highly raved on BookTube, which I enjoyed the first book. I will be reading the rest of the series for sure, but I was warned that the first one wasn't the best one of the series, and even before reading the other ones, I can see that happening. I feel like first book in a series, sometimes you have to like, you know, establish the story, establish the world, so it's not always as interesting as the next one. So I will be reading probably next month, actually this month in September, I'll be reading the other ones. But so far, I think it's good. I just, again, plot twist at the end, I was like, what? I feel like a lot of the books this month, I was just like weirded out by the ending. But yeah, the plot twist at the end though. I feel like everybody probably read this, but I'm just not going to spoil it. So I give it a 3.5 and I will be continuing the series this month. Second 3.5 star went to Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This one is a retelling of Cinderella, so basically following Cinder. and she's half cyborg, which was pretty interesting. I thought it was fun. I didn't love it as much. I feel like everybody loves it, but again, it's the first book of a series, so I feel like this is something that I'm going to start loving more and more as I read through the series, so I'm going to obviously continue it. But yeah, give it a 3.5. It was somewhat entertaining, but again, it just established most of the world. You don't see that much of a story, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy the next ones more. My only 4-star went to The Wrath and the Dawn by René Adier. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 stars, obviously, but there's a few things that bugged me a little bit, but overall it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. I will be reading the second one, which I feel like this is something you should have read like back to back. I feel like it would make more sense, but I enjoyed it. I think most people would love this book. It has a little bit of a love story, basically a retelling of 1001 Night. I can't say too much without spoiling it, so basically go in blind. If you love a little bit of a love story, you will like this book. Now we're going towards the book that I love more and more. The 4.5 stars, the first one went The Help, which was fantastic. I watched the movie right after just to see the comparison, and you can really see the difference. Like in the book, there's 3 point of views, which are like the writing is different for every character. You can really see the difference in personality and everything. And the movie, everything seems so easy compared to the book. So I think the book was much more realistic. So I give it a 4.5 out of 5, and I really enjoyed it. That book is everywhere, like every thrift store you can find for really cheap. I bought mine at my library. They were selling it for $1, so totally worth $1 for sure. This month I was doing a readathon, which actually isn't finished. It's finishing this weekend, so I will obviously give more details there. But you were right. I said that I didn't like romance books. Well, in general, obviously, because I don't like insta love and everything, but you got me, guys. Just The Winter's Curse, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I'm dying to read the rest. I'm probably gonna buy the 2 other ones and then read them. I feel like in trilogies, you get the first book, the second book, they're just struggles, and like you have to read the last one to finally be happy with it. So I'm gonna wait till I have the 2 other ones and then read them, but it was awesome. If you like love story, it's pretty good. The main character basically lives in a society where they have to either become a soldier or get married, and she doesn't want to do either of those things. It's pretty easy to spoil it, so I'm just not gonna say more than this, but I highly recommend it. You pick it up, especially if you like a good romance book, or even if you don't like me. Second 4.5 stars, I gave it to A Darker Shade of Magic, which V.E. Schwab writing is amazing. I took my time reading this. I refused to read it in 1 or 2 sittings. It was so good. So it took me a week, but I was reading other things in between. It was awesome. The writing was amazing. The stories, once again, I think was really, really good. There's basically 4 Londons where you can travel in between worlds. There's magics, there's a pirate in there, and it's awesome. I'll be buying the second one this month for sure and reading it. It's awesome. I highly recommend it if you like a good fantasy book. But V. Schwab's writing is just, it was awesome. The other books, some Nerve or City of Bones or something, it's really fast-paced book, but this one was, it was just so good. The writing, you just have to read it. You'll see what I mean. It was awesome. Highly recommend the book. I will be reading every V. Schwab book I can get my hands on. Last but not least, I read I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson. It was so good. So good. I gave it a 5 stars. I went in there blind, which I recommend doing. I feel like the less you know, the better it's gonna be. I have to say, you have to love different style of writing. This one was pretty creative. It was very different between the 2 main characters you were following, so it was really good. I don't give 5 stars that easily, as you probably can tell, and this one was totally worth it. Highly recommend it. I adored it, so it easily gained the 5 stars. The last 5 stars, I don't have the book with me because I let someone read it, but I actually read mine on Audible. I read/listened to most of The Martian. It was so good. If you've seen the movie, the book is even better. I read out loud so many times. It was super interesting. Basically, the story is there's astronauts on Mars and there's a storm. They have to leave and there's something that happens. And Mark Watney is left alone on Mars for not only months, but years. And he has to survive, which it's Mars, so not that easy. There's a few science bits in there, but it's really well explained, so even if you don't love science, it's pretty easy to understand, and it was just awesome. Totally recommend to everyone to read it. Obviously, already let other people read the book, so if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, highly recommend you do so. I don't even like Matt Damon, and I love the movie. Easily one of my favorite book of the year already, I can tell you. I just laughed so many times, and so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what books you've read this month and what you thought of them. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss any future videos and to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.